tell me more. And actually, that's a phrase that I have been working intentionally to weave into my vocabulary with more regularity. I have a very close friend who will say this to me a lot. I will offer something in conversation, and he will say back, "Tell me more about that." Now, sometimes, to be honest, it's a little annoying. Sometimes I just want to make a comment without the need to reveal anything deep and pressing about myself. So if you're going to use this, pick your spots. Not everything is a tell me more moment. But I do really like the exercise. And I like the practice of reminding myself to be curious about what someone is offering me. Here's the thing. Every time someone shares something of themselves with you, even something that might seem insignificant, they are offering a piece of themselves to you. And whether they even realize it consciously or not, they are at some level testing to see if you are a safe recipient for more of themselves. And there's a lot of ways that you signal that safety. Now, with your eyes and with your body posture, when you lean in or you back away and fold your arms. But tell me more has become a bit of a mantra for me to remind me to be curious, a recipient for what someone is offering to me. Now, I don't always say it out loud, because it can be annoying when it feels like you're trying to drag something out of someone, but often I will just say it in my head to myself as a cue to get those active listening skills going. Here's what I found really interesting, though. It has become a far less professional skill than I first imagined. I mean, maybe you hear me say this and you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense for a pastor to say. That's kind of the job. That's kind of true. But actually, the place that this mantra has had the most impact, or at least the place where I have become the most committed to using it, is with my partner, and particularly with my son, who is now 9 years old. See, I don't know about you, but often I come home at the end of a day, and I've been writing this sermon all day, or I've been in meetings all day, and I am not feeling particularly curious anymore, which is not a great pairing with a 9-year-old son who is already not predisposed to telling me all about his day either. And so when he starts going off about Minecraft, I can say, "Tell me more," because it reminds me to be curious about him, even though I could not care less about Minecraft. My hope, though, is that over time it will reinforce to my son that I am a safe space for anything that fascinates him, even Minecraft, and maybe even the things that trouble him. But this is what I want to suggest today, that all of this is more than just parenting tips and tricks. There is actually a holy practice of divine curiosity, one that all of us can work on. See, as human beings, we are heuristic machines. In fact, every day, every moment, you are taking in more information than you can possibly deal with. For example, your eyes see all kinds of things that your brain will just completely ignore as irrelevant. Most illusions are built off of this premise. Your brain will jump to conclusions based on past experience and override what your visual cortex is telling you. If the information coming in doesn't match existing models, it gets discarded. And that's a feature of how our brain works. It's not a bug. Evolutionarily, it just doesn't make sense to spend a lot of calories on processing horsepower when certain assumptions will be right 99.9% of the time. Now, that's kind of neat when it comes to optical illusions, but it's also why we tend to prefer small, tightly knit in-groups with very clearly defined borders. It's why we depend on stereotypes to jump to very quick conclusions about each other. And it's why, in the absence of a disciplined curiosity, we often prefer communities and people and conversations that already look a lot like us and therefore feel safe to us. And social media has not helped with this at all. Certainly not those algorithms that know all about this and use it to their benefit, either to keep us in conversations of like-minded people that won't challenge us, or to very purposely show us perspectives they know will make us angry and get us to click on them, but also because most of our social streams are yet another fire hose of information that completely floods our ability to search out nuance, or parse the details, or sift through what we're seeing for something that might actually impact us. See, we almost need shortcuts to deal with the volume of opinions that social media feeds us every single day. So it's not that we're closed-minded, although maybe a little bit we're closed-minded, but really, I think often, it's this that we're not well equipped to process something like an endless stream of tweets. Information overload creates a dependency on shortcuts. Shortcuts breed a familiarity and a desire for it, and familiarity becomes the enemy of curiosity.